Welcome to a visual and cultural tour of South Africa. On behalf of Halima Dawood, thank you for joining us today. South Africa is globally recognized as the Rainbow Nation, a dense tapestry of distinct cultures, languages, and histories woven into one border. To find the thread that holds these disparate pieces together, we must look past the map and follow the scent of wood smoke. While much of the world enjoys a casual weekend barbecue, a South African braai is a sacred social ritual. Standing around an open fire, the roles and boundaries of daily life dissolve as everyone gathers around the heat. As the wood turns to hot orange coals, the centerpiece hits the grid. This is boerewors, a deeply spiced beef and pork sausage flavored with toasted coriander seeds, cloves, and nutmeg, traditionally coiled into a giant wheel. The braai relies on the slow, social anticipation that builds while the meat is on the fire. It is an act of communal presence that establishes a baseline social contract. This map illustrates our route as we move eastward to the subtropical coast of Durban. Here, the historical arrival of Indian migrant workers created a massive cultural fusion, blending Asian diasporic traditions with proud Zulu rhythms. In the 1940s, Indian migrant workers on Durban's sugarcane plantations faced strict segregation laws. These workers were often legally barred from entering local restaurants, leaving them without standard containers to carry hot meals to the fields. Necessity produced an ingenious architectural solution, the bunny chow. By scooping out the center of a basic loaf of white bread and pouring in steaming curry, workers created a natural, insulated, and disposable bowl. Let us pause here to consider the legacy of this specific invention. A physical vessel born of systemic division and survival eventually evolved into a national treasure. Today, it serves as a culinary bridge that crosses every cultural boundary in the country. Moving inland toward the Zulu nation, the fast heat of the coast gives way to ancient processes of patience. This is the brewing of umqombothi, a thick, opaque sorghum and maize beer topped with a natural frothy head. Zulu women brew it by hand over 4 to 5 days, soaking, boiling, and straining the mixture through specialized grass sieves. The finished brew is exclusively served from an unglazed clay pot known as an ukamba. By design, this is a communal object, intended to be passed from hand to hand rather than poured into individual glasses. Sharing the beer follows a strict social architecture. It is tasted first by the brewer, then offered to elder men, and finally passed to visiting dignitaries in a highly specific order. Taking a drink from the ukambo represents a symbolic alignment with community history, family unity, and ancestral respect. Traveling to the urban core of Gauteng and the townships of Soweto, the culture moves with a fierce, rapid pulse. The kota serves as the architectural opposite of patient brewing, designed for massive volume and rapid satisfaction. This quarter loaf of bread is layered with vinegar-soaked slap chips, polony, a fried egg, and a Russian sausage. The kota functions as essential, affordable fuel. It provides an entire day's worth of energy to a dense population of bustling students, commuters, and laborers. The social equivalent to this urban energy is shisanyama. What began as a butcher's marketing tool, inviting customers to grill their meat right outside the shop, has evolved into a full-day social ritual, driven by the infectious beats of local house music and amapiano. Gauteng's food culture manifests the fierce energy and collective celebration required to thrive in a dense, high-speed urban environment. On the Atlantic coast, the cobblestone streets of Cape Town's Bo-Kaap neighborhood reflect the heritage of the Cape Malay community, built by skilled artisans and laborers brought from Southeast Asia centuries ago. The cuisine here relies on a sophisticated profile of ginger, cardamom, and cloves. This environment produced the Gatsby, a foot-long French loaf stuffed with chips and masala steak, first created in 1976 to feed a group of laborers. The most important rule of the Gatsby is its social contract. This meal is designed from its inception to be sliced into quarters and distributed among a group. It enforces an unwritten law of social unity, making a single loaf of bread a mechanism for shared resources and community support. Across this journey, we have seen diverse architectural structures: the insulated bunny chow, the ancestral ukamba, the dense kota, and the massive gatsky. Each of these dishes is engineered to ensure communal sharing. Despite their different ingredients and localized histories, they all function to bring individuals together around a common table. This culinary landscape offers a blueprint for building a resilient team. Just as these flavors depend on the preservation of bold, distinct ingredients, a powerful organization succeeds by integrating individual histories and unique skills into a single, cohesive force. Our differences are the exact components that forge our collective strength. We invite you to pull up a chair and join the communal fire.
This is the ultimate Cape Town Gatsby, one of the greatest South African foods you have to try in your lifetime. And in this video, we're eating Cape Town's most iconic food, including fish and chips with an ocean view. It's like boat to oil to table. Cape Malay cuisine you won't find anywhere else. And of course, we'll try Cape Town's most famous sandwich that was invented by accident. Good morning from the beautiful city of Cape Town, South Africa. And we're starting with what is probably the most iconic dish in all of Cape Town. And we're beginning at the place where they invented it. Hey, what's up, Caleb?
How you doing, Mark?
Very good, very good. Okay, Caleb, what are we getting here?
Yeah, so we're gonna get the calamari Gatsby,
So there it is on the menu, the super Gatsby's.
and then we can take it from there because it's a nice, large, that's the size of the roll. And then, yeah, it's gonna be stacked. It's gonna be fully.
Let's do it, man.
Yeah.
This place is extremely legendary, an institution in Cape Town, and it's actually a fish and chip stop, actually, and they even have fresh fish that you can buy like a fish market. But again, the most famous thing here is the Gatsby, and we're gonna find out all about it coming up.
This is one of my favorite South African street foods. It's called quota, which means quarter loaf, and I'm here in a local township about to give it a try, and it looks so good. Quota is popular as a filling and affordable meal and often sold at small stands like this. You can customize the options costing anywhere from 15 to 30 rand, or around $1. It starts with a hollowed out piece of bread that acts like a bowl to fill all of the toppings. First, we're adding sausage to the bottom, then topping it off with french fries covered in a delicious spice blend. Next, we have to add the sauces. Here we're lathering on the mayonnaise and ketchup before adding mango achar, which is basically a pickled mango. Achar is originally from the Indian subcontinent and is popular in South African cuisine as the country has one of the largest populations of Indian people outside of India. This Indian influence can be seen everywhere in South African cuisine. Next, we have to add peri-peri sauce to make it spicy. The sauce can trace its origins to Mozambique, coming from the Swahili word pili-pili for hot chili pepper. It gives the sandwich a nice kick. Finally, we top it off with a slice of cheese, more sausage, and a freshly fried egg to complete the quota. You can use the inside of the bread to top off the sandwich, and now it is time to dig in. This is what South African food is all about. This delicious filling meal with so many diverse flavors is such a good example of all you can enjoy in South Africa.
This is traditional African beer, also known as umqombothi, and today I'm going to show you how to drink it.
Hi guys, so this is umqombothi. It's an alcoholic drink.
Yeah.
Okay, have you
100% though.
100%?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
True.
Have you ever gotten drunk off of this thing?
Yeah. This bro.
It moves quick.
Yeah.
It's not good, he says. Alright, so we're about to drink it now.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's our Hennessy, this one.
It's a Hennessy, this one. Alright, let's try some Hennessy, dog.
This beer is usually only prepared when traditional ceremonies are happening, and as you can see here, only one cup is used and shared amongst men. The cup will be used to remix the umqombothi. This mixing makes sure that all the flavors and ingredients are blended nicely for a smooth taste. A little bit of it is then scooped up and enjoyed, after which the rest is poured onto the floor to show respect to the people that have passed away and is no longer here to share it with us.
Let's try it.
And this is me trying it.
That's delicious, bro. I'm not gonna lie. And then they throw it out because you're not drinking alone. Yo, it really makes you say.
Would you ever try umqombothi?
Not one, not two, not three, but 14 courses. On my last night in Cape Town, I booked an African immersive dinner at Gold Restaurant, and it was the perfect way to end my trip. And when I say dinner, I don't just mean eating. We went on a taste safari through Africa with food, live music, dancing, djembe drumming, Mali puppets, and stories with every single course. The whole experience cost about 560 Rand, which is roughly 50 Canadian dollars. Honestly, it was well curated. The decor, the menu, and the African theme, I loved every single thing. When I arrived, I was taken to my table and handed a drum. The experience kicked off around 6:30 with face painting, followed by an optional interactive drumming session and traditional dancing with Mali puppets. And let me tell you, I was beyond excited. Then it was time for dinner. It was a set 14-course menu. We washed our hands before eating, and throughout the meal, they explained each dish, where it was from, how it was cooked, and the spices that brought it to life. The dishes were all over from Africa, from South Africa to Egypt to Malawi to Morocco and more. We were entertained throughout dinner, and I was mind blown when I saw the dessert. It was ice cream with an African-shaped cookie. And after dinner, the queen of the show sprinkled 24-karat gold dust on everyone as a thank you for visiting. Honestly, this is one of the experiences that I will never forget. Save this for your Cape Town trip and see you at the next destination.
Did you know braai in South Africa is more than just barbecue? It's a tradition. A braai is a social tradition that brings families and friends together. More than food. It's about sharing stories, laughter, and time, not just the food. Braai is a symbol of unity, celebrated across cultures and generations. A South African heritage. That's why braai is one of South Africa's most cherished traditions. Follow for more.
Did you know Durban for years had the largest Indian population outside of India? And you can taste that history in almost every corner of the city. This is part 2 of Exploring Durban, because for all the conversations around crime and decline, Durban still knows how to romanticize everyday life. Today we're showcasing food. If there's one thing Durban will defend with its life, it's bunny chow. It's not made for tourists, born during apartheid when Indian labourers needed a way to carry food to work. So naturally I wanted to check out a few spots.
This is a bunny chow. There's no actual bunnies in it. That always throws people off the first time they eat it. So the bunny kind of comes from the word the Banya people. So it started off around the 1920s, 1930s. The Banya people, a class of Indians that would sell food. You take a loaf of bread, you'd hollow out the center and you'd put a vegetarian food in it. It could be a dal. It was usually beans or lentils, and we'd be a bit drier curry so it doesn't soak too much. So they'll wrap it up in newspaper and there's your lunch for the day.
A dish built from resistance that became part of Durban's identity.
So I made a spiced pineapple for you to try. This is a local snack that we like. So you get the spiciness of the masala, there's a little bit of salt in there, and the sweetness from the pineapple.
Second bunny chow spot is Britannia. When someone said we're going to a hotel for bunny chow, I was like, are you sure? Is it going to be authentic? And let me tell you, this was the bang bang. Just look at this beauty. Pouring with flavors, 10 out of 10. For the evening, I stumbled on a Zulu-owned restaurant in Mhlanga, redefining what modern Durban looks like. Yet when I asked for black-owned restaurants, no one knew this existed. It has good food, beautiful decor, the cutest staff. This is a reminder that the future of Durban's culture is being built by locals, creating spaces for themselves. Durban doesn't always get the same attention as Cape Town, but maybe that's exactly why it still feels real.
I'm Nick Hammond and I'm on a culinary journey through Mzansi, one magic meal at a time, and I'm kicking off my journey with a celebration of the classic tradition of cooking meat on an open fire here at Mbizo Shisanyama at Busy Corner in Gauteng. After selecting today's choice of chuck, liver and vors, my meat was weighed, priced and taken to the braai to be grilled by a master who more than knew what he was doing, adding just the right amount of spice to my meal. This spot is an institution and has been around since the late 90s, earning itself a reputation for great food, and I have to say they didn't disappoint. Rich and velvety, the liver was perfectly seared, delivering a deep savory flavor with a satisfying hint of spice. The smooth fluffy pup soaked up the fiery tangy chakalaka, bursting with smoky peppers, onions and a perfect chili kick. Juicy and bold and full of beefy flavor, the chuck had just the right amount of char, locking in its tender, slow cooked goodness. This recipe for magic needed an ice cold Coke as the perfect refresher before tucking into the vors, a masterpiece of spice and meat, its crisp casing giving way to a juicy herby filling that oozed flavor with every bite. Nobody does it quite like us in Mzansi, and I would highly recommend grabbing a few friends and coming to try out Mbizo Shisanyama for yourself. Make sure to drop me a follow and follow along as I continue to explore the best of our beautiful country.
I'm cooking a dish from every country in the world, and today we're taking a trip to South Africa to make one of their most famous dishes, baboon tea. South Africa, also called the Rainbow Nation, is a country that's about as diverse as they come. They've got 11 national languages, including larger indigenous ones like Zulu and Xhosa, as well as a long list of very diverse tribal and ethnic backgrounds, which results in a dish like babuti, which comes by way of the Cape Malay people who were brought to South Africa originally by Dutch slavers. The origins of this dish are also a bit of a misnomer, as the Cape Malay people mostly came from the island of Java in Indonesia, which is why you find the addition of curry, sweet chutneys like mango and apricot, going into what seemingly looks like a South African meatloaf. To some fried down beef and onions, you add your chutneys, a little tomato paste, golden raisins, and then you top with an egg and milk mixture, which gives it a little bit of an English steamed pudding flair. And this dish turned out great. Sweet and salty, beefy, filling, perfect.
Welcome to Cape Town.